Hey, what's up, everyone? Well, I have a video that I think some of you will find very interesting, and some of you will kind of look at like paint drying. Well, I should say watching paint dry. And what I'm going to do here is ask you a question to begin. How much does an American Silver Eagle weigh? Now, if you said 1 troy ounce, you would be absolutely correct. And if you said 31.10 grams, I give you extra credit. Actually, it's 31.103 grams. But anyway, that's kind of a guide, but there's quite a bit of variation. So I figured I'd just kind of weigh a few. Let's look at some of that variation. So you'll be able to see from looking at these are basically have little to no wear on them, and I bought them all at reputable places, and some different ones at that. So we have 31.19 grams on this one. So let's put that one to the side. 31.26 grams. 31.09. 31.18. 31.42. 31.23. 31.28. 31.19. 31.26. 31.17. 31.34. That's a heavy one. 31.24. 31.35. 31.19. And finally, 31.27. Now, I think I might have gotten one that was 31.19 a couple of times, but other than that, I got all different weights. And now keep in mind that a gram is a pretty small unit of measurement, and this weighs to the hundredth of a gram. So, something that appears like a big difference really probably isn't that big a difference in reality. Couple of things here. Usually, for one thing, when I've measured Silver Eagles, I've never seen one under 31.1 grams. Now, maybe if you find someone who had one like a pocket piece and they carried it in their pocket for a long time and it had wear, it would be below 31.1. But if you see a nice, brilliant and circulated American Silver Eagle, it's going to be at least 31.1 grams if it's real. If you see something that has, no wear on it and, it's like 30 grams or 29 grams, it's fake. It is fake. Now, as far as the weight above that, I actually went online to see what the range is. Some people feel it's like up to 31.4. I saw a couple that said 31.6. I actually have one that weighs 31.6. I don't have that particular one here. Everything else I did check sewn on it, and I've seen some people say that that's within the range. I'm not 100% sure about that, to be honest with you. But everything else is basically within that 31.1, 2, 3, the occasional 4. And, the thinking, I guess, with mints is that if you give people a little bit extra silver, it's really not costing much out of their pocket. And it kind of protects your reputation. Because could you imagine the fury if, you know, somebody bought a bunch of American Silver Eagles or Canadian Maple Leafs or Austrian Philharmonics, and rather than being 31.1 grams, they all averaged like 30.5 grams. Now, it's a little over half a gram. That's not a huge deal, right? I mean, what's that, like 30 or 40 cents worth of silver? But multiply that times millions and millions of coins. It would be quite a racket. It would probably make the news. A lot of people would swear them off and refuse to buy them. It would basically kill their reputation. So, you know, places would rather err towards giving you just a teeny bit too much than a little less. I mean, I do this sometimes too. Sometimes, like, I'll sell coins or something, and I'll say I'm selling, like, 2 pounds of coins or 4 pounds of coins. After I get to the 2 or the 4 pound mark, I always throw a few extra in, because I want people to be happy. I want people to know that I'm not trying to, pull a fast one on them, So, same thing here. So if any of you have weighed your Silver Eagles and you're coming up at like 31.2 or 31.3, if everything checks out and you bought them from a reputable dealer, I wouldn't be worried about that. It's probably totally, absolutely fine. Now, if you're coming up with something crazy, like, it's 33 grams or something, then yeah, that's a problem. If it's coming up at like 28 or 29 grams, yeah, big problem. But if you're looking at something that's over by 1 or 2 tenths of a gram, I mean, that is such a small, tiny amount that it's probably within spec, essentially, for lack of a better term. It's kind of in that range that's considered acceptable. So I just wanted to leave you with some of those words. Another thing to also remember too is, also look, besides weight. Weight's only one factor. You also want to look at the dimensions of the coin. Now, I believe that the Silver Eagle's 3 millimeters thick. Don't hold me to that, but it is 40.6 millimeters. So, if it's silver, 999 silver, it's going to be approximately 31.1 grams and approximately 40.6 millimeters, and close to 3 millimeters thick. If someone's going to use another type of metal and it has a different molecular density than silver, it's going to be a different size. So they have to make a decision. Do we want this to be the same diameter and thickness, or do we want it to be the same weight? Because if you're using another kind of metal, you might get it perfectly to be 40.6 millimeters, and you might get it perfectly to be like 3 millimeters thick, but the weight's going to be off. Unless you're using something with a very similar density. If you say, you know what, I'm going to nail this, I'm going to get it exactly 31.1 grams. Okay, you're going to do that. But guess what? If the density's different, it's going to be a different diameter and a different thickness. So that's why if you can have tools like, say, a caliper to measure the thickness of the coin, the diameter of the coin, and then a scale, and then, for additional peace of mind, just kind of put a rare earth magnet on it, ping test. Some of you with deeper pockets might have a Sigma Metalytics. Good for you if you do. Those are pretty cool. But even then, if you do have one, it's one of the tools in your tool bag, because I've heard about some issues with those too. But with that said, I wouldn't mind having one myself. So anyway, I am going to leave this here. I hope you have a good one. You check out some more videos. If you like this type of video, I would definitely appreciate a thumbs up. Kind of helps me guide where I want to do. Because I have a lot of ideas for videos, but then I think sometimes people are going to think this is kind of a stupid thing to do. So if you give me thumbs up on something like this, I know this is the type of thing you might enjoy seeing. All right, have a good one, guys.